Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host Thomas Tyree from On the Hot Podcast. Today, I have some bonus content for you guys. The bonus content will be covered today will be in the sport of football inside the UFL League. So in this bonus segment, I'll be sharing my thoughts on which ex-NFL players I would love to see be a part of the UFL Football League. So this season is going to be a really interesting season as the season is already officially underway with week 1 in the books. This year, the UFL League is a United Football League that is combined with the USFL League from last year and the XFL League, merging into one to create the UFL League. You have 4 teams representing the XFL, and you have 4 teams representing the USFL to create one big league full of 8 teams. And I think this is going to be an interesting league for years to come. Yes, right now there's only 8 teams, but I do believe that the league will expand as the years go on because this is going to be a new opportunity for players to prove that they can still play the National Football League, their way back to the National Football League, or this could be a shot to the future for a lot of future stars out there that could use this opportunity and catapult themselves to the National Football League, making their dreams come true, playing on a 53-man roster. So I do believe this is a good league, and I do believe it's going to take football by storm. I mean, football fans out there watching and listening, who the hell wouldn't want some type of football being played nearly 12 months a year? That is exciting because this league is actually going to go all the way on to June. So, hey, I'm a fan of it, but let's get into it. Player number one I would like to see play in the UFL League is Cam Newton. Now, I understand this is highly unlikely, but Cam Newton has still said to this day that there's not 32 quarterbacks better than him in the National Football League. Is there some truth to that? Maybe, yes. But it would be interesting to see Cam Newton make a return to football and playing in the UFL League to still prove that he still got it. Cam Newton is a former MVP. He led the Carolina Panthers to a Super Bowl back in 2015, 2016. He's arguably one of the greatest Carolina Panthers players in their franchise's history. So if Cam Newton can still go, if that shoulder injury really isn't nagging at him, why not see him in the UFL League one day and prove that he can still ball and be a part of the National Football League? I would definitely love to see Cam Newton in this league. Now, next player on my list is Colin Kaepernick. Even though the season has already started in the UFL League, I do believe that it would make a lot of sense for Colin Kaepernick to join the UFL League. And it makes a lot of sense because Colin Kaepernick over the last few years has been trying his best to get back into the National Football League. He's been doing workouts for NFL teams. He's been showing that he's committed to football, staying in shape since 2016. But nobody has been brave enough to sign Colin Kaepernick since the whole stunt of him taking a knee during the national anthem back in 2016. Nobody has been brave enough to sign him to the NFL roster. And if you want my honest opinion, Colin Kaepernick, I would take him over a lot of backup quarterbacks in the National Football League today. But Colin Kaepernick playing in the UFL League would be great for the league and himself to prove that he still got it and he belongs on a 53-man roster. Not only that, but Colin Kaepernick would bring ratings into the UFL League. His merchandise sales would be skyrocketed. He would make a lot of money off of merchandise sales, and bring a lot of tickets would be sold for fans that want to see Colin Kaepernick still play. So I think Colin Kaepernick should maybe maximize his opportunity and reach out to the UFL League and see if there's a spot available for him on one of those 8 teams. I would definitely love to see Colin Kaepernick in this league. So starting off with the next player. The next player is Johnny Manziel. I would definitely love to see Johnny Manziel a part of the UFL Football League. Now, since his departure from the NFL, Johnny Manziel has played in some Canadian football leagues, and he's also played in Arena Football League. So Johnny Football has not played at the highest level, but he has been involved in football somehow, some way since his departure in the NFL years ago. And don't get me started about Johnny Football, man. Johnny Football in college was one of the most electrifying players of the 2010s, especially at the quarterback position. Johnny Football put Texas A&M on the map in the SEC Conference. The man was a Heisman Trophy winner, could make a lot of plays with his arm, make a lot of plays with his legs. What was there not to like about Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football? And it really would be fun to see Johnny Football play in the USFL League, or the UFL League, But he would attract a lot of attention to the league. A lot, just like Colin Kaepernick, I said, would bring in a lot of ratings, a lot of merchandise sales, and possibly help a lot of young players grow as players to help build their characters to get to the National Football League. And Johnny Football, if he joined this league, could possibly find himself on a 52, 53-man roster again one day. So, hey, is a long shot of happening? Yes, but I would definitely love to see Johnny Manziel make a comeback to football. Now, this next player is based off of opportunity, and I think this one makes a lot of sense. Josh Rosen. I think Josh Rosen could benefit of playing in the UFL league because this is somebody that really should consider playing the UFL league. Josh Rosen is still very young of age. He was a former first round pick in the 2018 draft class, a top 10 selection to the Arizona Cardinals. And the only thing I had about Josh Rosen is when he came out of college at UCLA, the man swore up and down that he would win more Super Bowls than the greatest football player to ever put on a pair of pads, and Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. Tom Brady went on to win 7 Super Bowls. Josh Rosen didn't even win 7 games as an NFL starter. As I digress, he ended up, Josh Rosen's story was a little unfortunate, but the NFL is a business. And at the time, the Arizona Cardinals already fired their coach. They got a new coaching staff. They wanted their new guy at the quarterback position. They wanted a brand new shining toy. And that shining toy was Kyler Murray in the 2019 NFL draft when he was the first overall selection. So Josh Rosen's story ended up being traded a year later, released by the Miami Dolphins once he got traded there just a year later. Ended up with the Atlanta Falcons, then didn't work out there, and we haven't seen him ever since he ended up on the Minnesota Vikings practice squad a few years ago. So I really think this is somebody that could use a second chance to potentially still live out his dreams of being a part of the National Football League. I do really think that Josh Rosen should consider playing the UFL League because he could find himself back in the NFL. Look at a quarterback that was pretty decent in college, went to the National Football League, needed to actually take a few steps back, go back to the UFL League to finally get a spot back in the NFL. And that guy's name is A.J. McCarron. He found himself on the Cincinnati Bengals, then went down to the UFL League last year, or the XFL League last year, and was a part of the St. Louis Battlehawks and found his way back to the National Football League last year. Why can't Josh Rosen do the same? It wouldn't hurt trying at least. But, hey, that's definitely a player I think would take the most of that opportunity. But I have one more player. Last player on here is Tavon Austin. Tavon Austin had one of the best college football highlights in college football history. I mean, when I was a little athlete back in the day, when I was playing in high school, I remember watching Tavon Austin's highlight tapes. The West Virginia tapes were magical moments of Tavon Austin, one of the best players in college football at the time. He was an electrifying player. You could line him up at wide receiver. You could line him up at running back. And his NFL career never really played out to the college football production. And to me, I think Tavon Austin would benefit playing in this league because we've seen Josh Gordon still try to prove that he can still play in the NFL. And he went down to play for the Seattle Sea Dragons last year in the XFL League. So I really could see Tavon Austin taking a crack at this and possibly play in the league and be a game changer for a UFL team. And there was actually rumors and speculation last year that he signed with the Houston Roughnecks last year, but I never seen him out there watching the XFL League. So, I think Tavon Austin could benefit from this, being a guy of wisdom that's been in a lot of NFL locker rooms, just a guy that hasn't his career didn't play out the right way in the NFL, but hey, why not still prove that you still got the juice and you can still ball playing in the UFL League? But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off, and I'll see you guys on next week's episode.